Hi everyone, Sandra here from the Schwoven's Nest. Today I'm going to show you how to make this framed family quote DIY sign with Faux Shiplap. Here are the items you'll need. You're going to need some type of stain. I like the Minwax gel stain and I'm using the color Walnut. I'm also going to be wearing these little poly gloves because I don't want to get the stain all over my fingers and I'm kind of messy when I do this stuff. And then you're also going to need some type of wood frame. This is a panel board that I picked up at my Dollarama. I'm also then going to just use a kitchen sponge to apply the stain. So bending the sponge a little bit, I'm just going to dab it into the gel stain. And I really like the gel stain because you're limited as to how much you can actually pick up onto the sponge. And then basically just rub it onto the exterior of the frame wherever you want the stain to appear. Once I was completed all the way around, I did take some stain and go over with a second coat. You'll want to take your favorite chalk paint. I like Rust-Oleum brand and I'm going to use Linen White. I'm also going to use a little small sponge brush to get into the edges so I can control the paint a little bit more. This turned out to be kind of difficult for me. I did end up smudging and putting some of the paint on top of the frame itself, so I would suggest putting some painter's tape on the wood frame and then you can just go to town and you won't have to worry about smudging anything. Once I'm done that part, I'll be taking my large paintbrush and filling in the rest of it, giving it 2 good coats. What you'll want to do next is decide how many boards or faux boards you want to have on your sign. Mine has 4 and I just made it easy for myself and divided the board into 4 equal sections using my ruler. Then I simply took a pencil and marked the lines across. Now it's time to break out the stencils and get the word family across the second board from the top. And what I'm going to do is kind of just lay it out and eyeball where I think the letters will fit in and make sure that they're centered. Once I've got my plan figured out, then I'm just going to go ahead and stencil one of them at a time. And again, I don't use paint and I wouldn't be using paint on these stencils themselves because they are made of paper cardstock. So I'll just be using my pencil and tracing the lines out. It's really light with the pencil, but you can see the outline of the word family in the second board. For the words underneath the word family, I'm going to be putting where love never ends. And I'm using the smaller stencils that I have. They're kind of a little bit of a Ray Dunn look-alike, but I like to use different fonts when I'm doing my signs. It just makes it look a little bit more creative. To make sure I get the words placed evenly, I'm actually going to start stenciling backwards. So I had to really make sure that I spelled the word correctly, but I'm going up directly underneath the Y and then I'm going to stencil backwards for the 2 words above the last penciled line. So where love will be above the line and never ends will be below the line. Here's the completed pencil outlines and we're just about ready to get started with paint. So for these letters, I wanted to give my Sharpie fine tip marker a try, and I found that it wasn't a good thing because the marker kept getting the chalk paint residue on it and it just didn't work. So I did end up going back to my trusty paint and doing it that way. If you don't have a steady hand with a paintbrush, you could actually use the Sharpie marker to just outline the edges of the stencil and then fill it in with paint. And now I'm going to work on the word family. And again, if you don't have a steady hand, you could go ahead and use your Sharpie marker to just do the outline and then fill it in with black paint. Here's the sign with all of the letters filled in. The last step that I'm going to do is cover it with some matte Mod Podge, and the reason I want to do this is because I do have pencil lines on top of the paint, and I also don't want the paint to chip or flake off, so I'm just going to seal it down with my Mod Podge. I'm using a foam brush to apply the Mod Podge, and I'm just going to go across it very lightly. I just want one even coat. Here's the completed sign on a wooden shelf with a little bit of greenery, and up close you can see the letters and the pencil line that creates the Faux Shiplap. I think it turned out really sweet. There's another one that I did with different types of font, and this is an actual shiplap sign, so those are real boards behind the letters, and this frame is a little deeper as well. I also just wanted to show you that you can play around with different font styles to suit your own tastes and make things different yet similar. I hope you enjoyed the video and you've got some inspiration to create some signs for your own home. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the bell to get notified when I upload a new video. Thanks for watching!